Annoo and welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is doing well. Happy Easter, happy Passover, happy whatever you are celebrating. I hope you are all doing well. Today I am here to share with you an amazing, easy tutorial. So I don't know if you have noticed, but lately I have been trying to attract the one of my crochet family that are mostly beginners. So I've been trying to simplify as much as I can my tutorials for beginners to understand that it sometimes looks scary when you see a pattern, but it's most of the time really easy. And if you take it slowly and surely and with my help, I hope you will find it easy to achieve amazing things, garments that will wow everybody around you. And today is not a garment. Today I want to take the beginners among us and go back to basics for granny square. So today we are going to make a blanket. I chose to make a huge king size blanket for my bed because I have a king size bed. My husband is really tall, so if I don't have a king size bed, his feet dangle off the bed. Too much information, but that is true. So I decided I wanted to make a really fun, whimsical blanket using the granny stitch. So I will take you slowly through the granny stitch, explaining to the beginners among us how to create it. And then it's your choice to decide what size of blanket you will want, what size of granny you will want, and you can make them smaller, you can make them bigger, you can make one huge granny, make one blanket that is made out of one huge granny. I like to make many grannies and then assemble them together, and of course I will show you how to do that. Those grannies can be used for the Daniella Blanket, which is still going on. I am actually going to Israel in May for the opening of Daniella's Den. I will put all the information in the info box down below, and of course that will be my big update. It will come probably then at the end of May, beginning of June. That will be a vlog about me going to Israel and participating in the official opening of Daniella's Den. But for today, I used a DK, a sport DK yarn. I actually used those Sheepjes yarn that I had talked about many times. I will post a picture of the yarn here, and I will put all the information about the yarn in the info box below. But that can be done with any kind of yarn you want, as long as it's sport DK. Actually, it could be done with other yarns, but if you choose a thinner yarn, you will need more rows to create the same size granny as I did, and a thicker yarn, less rows, right? That's just the nature of yarn. And if you're interested in me explaining to you yarn and weight and thicknesses and all those fun things, let me know in the info box down below, and I can make an explanatory video one of these days about that, about yarn, about gauge, about anything you want. Just let me know what you want me to do for you in the info box down below. And that is my dog barking, of course. Every time I sit down to film, she barks like she knows. She knows. Oh, she knows. Anyway, so here is the blanket. Look how beautiful it is. That is me on my bed. I wanted to give you a view of the blanket, but I absolutely love it. And that can be done if you have a lot of scraps of the same yarn. I wouldn't change yarn during this pattern, because then it would change the size of your granny, and you want each and every granny that you assemble together to be exactly the same size for this specific blanket to be symmetrical and to work. I also decided to make a border for this blanket. You know me, I love simple borders. I did my Picot border that I showed you how to make many times. I will post the link to the Picot border right here if you are interested. I chose super cheerful colors for this blanket because my bedroom is super neutral. I have beige and gray and white going on, and since it's the spring, I need those cheerful colors in my life. So that's why I chose all the colors of the rainbow that I like and put them together, not in any order, so you can choose whatever color you like to make your blanket and make it your own. So yeah, and like I said, super easy stitch. It is single crochet and double crochet basically, and chain. That is it. And then how to make a magic circle. That is it, my friends. So, do you think you can do it? I think you can. If you are not subscribed to my crochet family, what are you waiting for? It's totally free. Look at the bottom there, you have the subscribe button, so don't hesitate to click on it. And also click on that little bell so you can be notified every time I post something new. You will get a little email and then you will know when I post something new. If not, sometimes it can get lost in a YouTube limbo, and that would be really sad. Also, I wanted today to share a giveaway with you, just to thank you for hanging out with me. My giveaway is this beautiful traveling bag with all kind of goodies, maybe yarn, hooks, whatever I feel like sharing and whatever I like on that day in my life. So random things from me to you to say thank you. One giveaway will be on YouTube and the other one will be on Instagram, not to make anybody jealous. Well, to participate on Instagram, super easy. You are just going to comment on that image right here and put a little spring emoji. That is for Instagram. For YouTube, here is my giveaway email address. You just send me an email there. The title of the email should be spring giveaway, and then inside the email you give me your subscriber name and your physical address. As for Instagram, I will contact you to let you know that you have won through Instagram Messenger or whatever it's called. DM, I don't know. I'm so not techie, it is scary. But that is it. So I hope you are all doing well and enjoying this beginning of the spring with not too many allergies, I hope, for you. And that is about it. So I love you, happy crochet, and see you next time. Bye. So here are the grannies assembled together to form that blanket. Each granny is 14 inches by 14 inches, and I had 7 grannies width and 8 grannies length. So 56 grannies in total, and each granny has 15 rounds. And as usual, I had my mother-in-law line it with fleece, super soft, and I made a Picot border. Are you ready? Let me show you how to create this beautiful blanket. I used a 4mm crochet hook. Take your yarn and your hook, and let's make a magic circle. Super easy. Make a circle with your yarn. Pass your yarn underneath as to make a little knot. Pull it with your crochet hook to the side, just like so. And then you see that little string at the bottom? Wrap your crochet hook around it. There you go, that is it. You just created your magic circle. Once your magic circle is made, you're going to chain 3. That will count as your first double crochet. Then inside the magic circle, make a double crochet and another one. And then you're going to chain 1 and make 3 more double crochets inside your magic circle. Chain 1, 3 more double crochets, still in the middle of the magic circle. Chain 1 and 3 more double crochets. And you are finishing your first round. You will be crocheting in the round. And your first round by making a chain 1 and slip stitching at the top of the first chain 3 you had made. Pull on the end yarn to close your little opening in the middle. Chain 1 and slip stitch at the top of the chain 3. And you are done with your first round. Chain 3. And in that chain 1 space from round 1, make 2 more double crochets. Then there's no need to chain 1, you're going to go to the next chain one in between the two groups of 3 double crochets, and in that chain one space you're going to make 3 double crochets, and we're going to create a corner by making chain one, and in that same chain one opening making 3 more double crochets. Oh, what happened with the light? The sun went away. And you just created a 90-degree angle. Then you're going to go to the next chain one space, so skipping 3 double crochets, and around the chain one space making again 3 double crochets, a chain one, and 3 double crochets in that same chain one space, creating your second 90-degree angle corner. And again, skip 3 double crochets, and in the next chain one make 3 double crochets, chain one, and 3 double crochets. So we created 3 corners, and when we began our second round we actually began by making half of a corner, and we're going to finish it now. Go right in that chain one space we had began our round 2 and make 3 double crochets in around that chain space, chain one, and slip stitch at the top of the first chain 3 you had made, and you are done with your second round. Time to take another color. Grab your second color for your round 3. I chose this beautiful honey color, and we are going to join our new color to our work. Here is the way we are going to join, by making that magic joining knot that I had shown you in my crochet hacks. All right, here you have your new color. All right, so for that third round you're going to chain 3, and in that same space you are going to make 2 double crochets. So the half first corner is made. Then you're going to go to the next space in between the two groups of 3 double crochets, and you're going to make 3 double crochets in that space. Then you're going to go to the corner chain 1 space and create another corner. There will be corners on top of corners always. So now you're going to make 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 double crochets to create that 90-degree angle. And in between your corners now you will have one group of 3 double crochets in between each and every corner for that third round. And then in the next space, in between the two groups of 3 double crochet, you're going to make 3 double crochets in that space. And then in the next corner space, the chain 1 corner space, make 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 double crochets, creating your second full corner. And again, you're going to go to the next space in between the two next group of 3 double crochets, and you're going to make 3 double crochets and then a corner and then another 3 double crochets and finish the last corner of round 3. Here we go, we are at the end of round 3, and in that chain 1 space we had began our third round. You're going to make 3 double crochets, chain 1 and slip stitch at the top of the first chain 3 we had made, and you're done with your third round. And for your fourth round, we're going to continue with that same color. You're going to chain 3 and you're going to make 2 double crochets in that same chain space, creating half of your first corner. Then in between the corners now, you're going to have 2 groups of 3 double crochets. So in each space between the 2 groups of 3 double crochets, you're going to make 3 double crochets. That is 3. And then in the next space between the groups of 3 double crochet, you're going to make another group of 3 double crochets. So in between your corners now, at round 4, you will have 2 groups of 3 double crochets in between each and every corner. And for the corner, it's exactly the same: 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 double crochets. And I will meet you at the end of your round 4. We are at the end of our 4th round. And I'm going to finish by chaining 1 and slip stitching at the top of the chain 3 I had made at the beginning of round 4. And for round 5, we are going to bring on our 3rd color, so you can fasten off and grab a 3rd color, which is orange in our case. Alright, so round 5 will actually have 3 groups of 3 double crochets in between each corner. So we're going to chain 2 and make a double crochet, 2 double crochets in that same chain space. We had begun our 5th round. And then we're going to make 3 groups of 3 double crochets in each of the space between the 3 double crochet groups from the previous round. We are at the round 5, and at the end of the round 5 you have the perfect size to make a granny for Daniella Blanket, by the way. Hint hint, wink wink. So feel free to send me grannies. I will put the address where to send them to participate and be part of the Daniella Blanket in the info box down below. Alright, so now we reach the next corner, and in the corner, as usual, we're going to make 3 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 double crochets in that same chain 1 space, creating our 90-degree angle. And we're going to continue like that all around that 5th round, making 3 groups of 3 double crochet a corner, 3 groups of 3 double crochet a corner, etc. until you meet the end of your round 5. And this is what your work will look like at the end of your round 6. For your round 6, you have 4 groups of 3 double crochets in between your corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your corners. And now for our 4th color, fasten off the orange one, and our next color will be green. Beautiful lime green. And we are at round 7, chain 2, make 2 double crochets in that same chain space, and now you're going to have 5 groups of 3 double crochet in between your corner for this 7th round. I will meet you at the end of that 7th round. Actually, we are at the end of our 8th round, and you have 6 groups of 3 double crochets in between each corner. And I will continue like that until I have 15 rows, 15 rounds in fact, and in between my corners I will have 13 group of double crochets. Once you are done with your granny, make another one and then assemble them together. I choose to assemble my grannies right away as soon as I finish, or else once you have 56 grannies, to assemble them together is a little daunting. So here you go. This is the way it looks. Look at all the beautiful colors. I love it. So cheerful. So now let me show you exactly how to assemble it with my crochet hook. Of course, you can do it with a sewing tapestry needle if you would rather. You take your Berroco Comfort Dk yarn in cream, and you're going to assemble your squares together. I will show you how to do that. You're going to place your square wrong side facing each other, matching stitch to stitch, and we're going to always begin with the corner. We are going to assemble through slip stitching. It makes it very sturdy. Pass your crochet hook through the chain one at the corner, through the part of the stitch that is closer to you, and then on the opposite granny through the part of the stitch that is further away from you, and then join. Alright, now that your yarn is joined, let me show you how to proceed for the slip stitching of the rest of your grannies together. So again, matching stitch to stitch, you're going to take the part of the V-stitch that is closer to you from the first granny, and then the part of the V-stitch that is further away from you for the second granny. Yarn over and through all the loops on your crochet hook. Again, part of the V-stitch that is closer to you, and then part of the V-stitch that is further away from you. Yarn over and through all the loops on your crochet hook. And you're going to proceed like that along the sides of your granny, matching stitch to stitch, exactly the way I showed you. And I will meet you once you have assembled that side together. Alright, so you're going to assemble all your squares the same way. This is what it will look like from the right side. You see how seamless it is. And now once you have it all assembled, we're going to create the border. So you're going to go all around the whole blanket. I know it takes a long time, but it makes a huge difference for the finishing detail. And what you're going to do is, it's super easy. You're going to pick up a single crochet on top of each and every double crochet from the granny with your white cream yarn still, because I wanted my border to be cream, but of course you can choose any color you want. So you see how it's a little, sorry, it's a little blurry. Here you go, that's better. So see how I have my single crochets, and I'm going to continue. And once I meet the middle, the little seam there, I'll show you what I do when I meet the seam. So I go right in the seam, make my single crochet, and then I actually made 2 single crochet in the seam there. And then I go straight into the first double crochet from the next granny, and I continue doing exactly the same thing all along the side of my blanket. Since I am making a king side bed blanket, it's really long, but it's really worthwhile. And then let me show you what I do when I reach a corner. So I do my single crochets, and you remember the corner is a chain 1 space, right? So in that chain 1 space, I will make 3 single crochet in that same space. 1, 2, so it's really around the chain 1 space, and then up. I'm done with one side, and then I will continue repeating exactly the same thing on the other side until I reach the next corner. And when I reach the next corner, I will make 3 single crochets. I will make 2 single crochets in between the seams, in between the 2 grannies. And yeah, so that is basically what I'm going to do for a very simple border that will really tie together your blanket and giving a little neat detailing. All right, but that is not what I am not done with what I want to do with the edging of my blanket. I will post here my Picot border that I use on almost everything, super easy. Here is the link right on the top right of your screen. And just like that, you are done with your beautiful blanket, granny blanket. Of course, I made a huge one. You can make the size you want. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial as much as I have enjoyed creating it for you. And I'm looking forward to many, many more. In the meantime, happy crochet. Love you all. Bye. And of course, the written pattern will be on my blog very, very soon. Bye-bye. In my crochet family. And then it's you have to subscribe, or else sometimes it gets lost. If not, sometimes it gets lost. Oh my God, I cannot talk. The other one will be on Easter.